Update. Our parents threaten to disown us unless we give them grandchildren. Original post. For context, my fiancé and I have been in a relationship for the past 10 years and just recently got engaged. While it's understandable that 10 years might sound a bit too much, we started dating really early, and getting married was not a priority for either of us. We actually preferred to focus on our studies and careers for a while. She's a civil engineer, and I'm a medical student after getting a bachelor's and a master's. I do freelancing as a developer to pay for my living expenses. As we have been a couple for a long time, it is quite common for people to ask us when we're getting married and when we're having kids. While we are getting married as soon as I finish med school, we decided not to have children a long time ago, and we're still very certain of that decision, as both of us are more career than family-oriented. However, since the engagement, our families have started to put more pressure on us to get married soon and have children, even though we told them plenty of times that's not going to happen. My fiancé and I live together, and we are completely independent from our families financially. Some time ago, during a video chat, we ended up getting into a heated argument with our families for finally snapping at their ceaseless nagging for grandchildren, and we have been strained ever since. Now our families ask us to meet them for a lunch in family at my parents' house. We don't live in the same city, but it's close enough that we can go there for something like this, and that's when the following situation transpired. We arrived early enough to help out in preparing everything for the lunch, and for the next hour or so, things were pretty alright. But after we had lunch and we sat at the coffee table to chat, it's customary here, the room got visibly tense. Our parents, both hers and mine, started a speech about how much they put into us, how much they worked for us, and how much family means to them. I was already sensing some crappy thing coming, but I kept listening. Suddenly, they said that during one of their talks, they came to a decision that if my fiancé and I didn't give them grandchildren, after all they had done for us, we would be cut out of their wills. Their reasoning was this. 1. My brother is a gay man and as of now has no intention of adopting or any alternative to have children, and I was the only option for continuing the family. He was not there and is as mortified as I am. 2. My fiancé is the oldest sister. Her younger sister is still in high school and thus must set an example by having a family and continuing the family. Now, if that's not psychotic, I have no clue what is. We quickly looked at each other and immediately left their house. We haven't spoken to them since, but as far as we are aware, we're disowned by now. I never thought I would have to go through that, just because I don't want to have children. But it just shows how much entitlement they think they have. Cheers. Now for the top comments before reading the update. Best thing to do now is act like that money doesn't exist. Now you know it comes with strings, and that they'll use it to try to control you. Theoretically, if you did have a kid, what's stopping them from using the inheritance as a tool to make you raise it the way they want you to? Exactly. Rescind their power. If you're ever in a position where they try that nonsense again, the correct response is to smile and say, "We understand. It's your money. Don't worry. We can take care of ourselves." What happens after that is on them, but they at least know you can't be bribed or guilted. Plot twist, they decide to have kids, but ban grandparents from their lives. Imagine only valuing your kids for their ability to reproduce. Pathetic. Run OP. Forget the will. If you had kids, they would probably say, you only had kids so you could be in the will. I really don't understand this mindset at all. I'm a parent. I had the kids I wanted, and they are wonderful. If they choose to have kids of their own, great. If not, also great. The kids I wanted in my life are the ones I have, not future kids of kids. I'd be happy whatever decision they make, as it is their life, and as long as they are happy and fulfilled, so am I. Good God, the mental gymnastics of this move are insane. Imagine if you weren't financially independent. Also, do they not realize the cost of a kid, especially in this day and age? By just not having children, you and your wife will likely save more money than they would have left you in their inheritances anyway. Edit. I did not expect this to grow so much in just a few hours. Thank you everyone for the replies. Sadly, I don't think I'll be able to respond to everyone, so I'll just clear a few things here. My fiancé and I have absolutely no interest in their inheritance. We've been fine on our own for a long time, and we can take care of ourselves. Thus, we have absolutely no intention of contesting their will. We don't need that money, and we don't want it. I only posted this here due to the absurdity of their actions. We have decided to cut contact with them and uninvite them from our wedding. My brother is giving us full support on this, and as he is my best man, this already means the world to me. It's regrettable that it came to this outcome, but we are not going to let them run our lives. Some people ask us why we don't want to have kids. There are a few reasons for that, especially the fact that we are both extremely focused on our careers. Having a child is a responsibility to raise someone and give them the affection, lessons, and time needed. Neither of us wants to go through that just to birth someone. Also, we have firm beliefs that the world already has enough people without us putting someone else on it. Lastly, neither of us really likes kids. As bad as that might sound, we have no intention of ever giving birth to a child. Now for the update. I did not expect to be back so soon, but here we are. About a month ago, my fiancé and I posted here about how both of our parents decided to threaten to take us out of their wills if we did not give them grandchildren, which we won't be. Anyhow, they struck again, and my fiancé is really fuming with rage now and wants to share the situation with you all. There are some points that will need clarification, and I'll try to make them along the way. First, as we mentioned in our last post, due to the absurdity of the situation our parents were imposing on us, we felt that we did not want them at our wedding. Thus, we rescinded their invitations altogether. My brother is my best man and supports us wholeheartedly. Now, we get to the point of the post. After we left my parents' home that day, we had absolutely zero contact with them. They made their decision, and we made ours. We thought that was going to be it. Now, one thing that needs to be clarified, our wedding was planned for October 17th. However, due to the pandemic outbreak, large gatherings of people were completely prohibited, at least in my region. But thankfully, the venue we had booked is run by the most lovely administrators. As soon as the outbreak started, they contacted us and gave us every assistance needed with rescheduling. Thus, we rescheduled our wedding to 2021 in the same month. As the situation is still uncertain, that can change but shouldn't for the time being. We aren't really bothered by it, as we understand the situation is very dire, and we don't mind waiting for a time when everyone will be safe, possibly. This morning, while I was studying for some exams I'll be having at school, my fiancé got a call from the venue administrator asking why we wanted to cancel our wedding. Obviously, that was very strange and confusing to us. My fiancé let them know that we had no desire to cancel our wedding and further asked what that was about. Apparently, my fiancé's parents called the venue on our behalf, telling them that we no longer wanted to rent the place as we would no longer be getting married. Now, let me explain why the venue was leaning toward accepting this situation. In my country, our IDs carry not only our ID and sort of social security numbers, but also the names of our parents. To rent a venue, you need to provide your ID as a bureaucratic requirement. I don't know if that's how it works everywhere, so I wanted to make it clear. Apparently, they wanted to take advantage of that fact and try to dupe the venue into canceling our wedding. Luckily, the administrator is quite smart and saw that on our sheet, required for rental, there are only 2 names and numbers for contact if we can't be reached. One is my brother, and the other is my fiancé's best friend. At the time we booked the place, we were already in a strained relationship with our parents, so neither of us put them as contacts. Thankfully, the administrator actually paid attention to that and took the care and time to reach out to us. Otherwise, we might not only have lost our special date, but also our deposit and dream venue. I'll be honest in saying that I never expected that kind of behavior from anyone in our families. But alas, it seems I was wrong. Anyhow, now my fiancé is letting out fumes, and I'm trying to calm her down. We already sent a message to her parents, and mine, as we are sure they are in this together, telling them never to try to meddle in our lives again. My brother is as angry as we are, and he just told me he was heading to their house to tear them a new one. I don't even know how to feel right now. I'm crestfallen, if anything. I never expected or wanted things to be this way. but neither of us will go back on our decision not to have children. Truth be told, I already have the papers for sterilization ready. I just hope that one day they see that their entitlement just lost them their son and daughter, all because of grandchildren that will never exist. Edit. Thank you all for the nice replies. We really appreciate it. We just spent the whole afternoon calling all our services, making sure to create methods so this never happens again. It's taken care of, and thank you all for the advice. I don't really know what my brother told them as he went from there to his work. I did get a text from them complaining that we released our rabid dog on them, which is amusing to be honest, as my brother is a very calm person. We won't contact them again. Once more, thank you all for the kind words. Edit 2. We did decide on passwords with all our contracts and shouldn't have any further problems. But on that note, for those who asked, our parents didn't give us a dime to pay for our wedding. We worked ourselves and paid for every little thing. They have absolutely no right over it. I did mention this in the previous post. We don't want their money, nor do we need it. We're just sharing and venting our frustration. Anyhow, thank you all for the lovely replies. Cheers. Last story. Update. Siblings are convinced mom has a secret stash of money, and they want it now while she's still alive. Original post. My brother, sister-in-law, sister, and brother-in-law feel as if mom should give them her house and property and move into an old folks' home, or buy them a house. My mom is almost 80. She has all of her faculties about her. She is well educated and very spry. It's mostly my sister and brother causing all the trouble. A few years ago, my stepdad passed. He was a great guy and good to my mom. My older brother and my younger sister are convinced that mom has secret money left to her when stepdad died. At first, they thought she had cash hidden in the house, so they'd visit her, and one would keep her busy, while the other would snoop. Then they convinced themselves that she had a secret bank account somewhere. No, she doesn't. I do most of her banking and set up her accounts for AITA. She owns her house free and clear. After dad died, I orchestrated a GoFundMe to get her house paid off. We were successful. They do not know that I did this. They were kept out of the loop for fear they'd pressure her into giving them some of the money. So they have no idea how she paid her house off, only that she had paid it off. They really ramped up the pressure after she paid off the house. Now they are convinced more than ever that she has a secret stash of money. Then we told them about the GoFundMe for her house, hoping they would back off of mom. But they lost it. They wanted an accounting of the money, and they wanted anything that was in that account turned over to them, threatening to take me to court for elder financial abuse. Now she only has to pay the monthly bills. I set up her AutoPay, so I know exactly how much money she has. Enough to live, but not to have any fun. So I pay her water and cell phone bills for her. I transfer the money to her account every month. They have each told her she needs to give them money for a down payment on a house since she refuses to give up her home of 35 years. If she won't give them any money, then give up an acre to them each. How are they entitled to her money? She receives less than $4,000 a month to live on. I cannot convince them that she doesn't have a secret bank account. The thing that they do not understand is that he is not our bio father, and he didn't raise us. They married when we were all out of the house. No matter how many times I point this out, they say that it doesn't matter since they called him dad. It's been a few years, but they still bring it up often. Mom called me last night. She was tired and had worked hard today in her high tunnel. Both of them had been calling for the last few weeks, upping the pressure. The last time they brought it up, they talked about splitting her house and property between the two of them, also mentioning her secret bank account. There are 5 siblings altogether. But since the other 3 are doing better than these 2, houses and careers, they think they are entitled to her home and property after she passes. What they do not know is that she left her house and 5 acres to an animal rescue and activist group that she is very active in. I know because I am the executor of the will. She has asked me not to tell them. How do I get them to back off of her without telling them there's not a snowball's chance in hell that they are getting anything? She does not want them to know about her will, for fear they will harass the animal rescue activist group. Now for the top comments before reading the update. I'd definitely talk to a lawyer. See if there's some kind of trust that will transfer the house and property to the animal rescue and still allow her to live in it until she passes. and make it ironclad. Because you know those siblings are going to try to contest your mom's wishes no matter what happens. Oh, this is a really smart idea, thank you. Are you in the US? Don't know anything about other countries. One significant advantage of a living trust over a will is that the contents of a will are generally made public during probate, whereas only trust beneficiaries and the trustee get to see the trust. If the house is in a separate trust, it could be donated without the family even being informed. In fact, with a charitable remainder trust, she could even get a tax deduction. Thank you for this information. Yes, we are in the US. This suggestion has been offered several times throughout this thread. I am going to use this information to move forward. Now for the update. So many things have changed since my first post. My mom became very ill with vertigo and edema and went into a fib. She spent 3 days in the hospital. They think that there is an issue with her pacemaker, but she and her doctor also suspect her high blood pressure meds. She needs to go to a specialist. She heads there tomorrow. During that time, the cat rescue that she was leaving her house and property to basically turned their back on her and didn't go in to help her with the animals she was caring for. Animals that were dropped off by the rescue. She had to scramble to find outside help and pay for it when the rescue was supposed to help her. Apparently, the rescue had lost a large grant, and they are now telling fosters that they are on their own. My mom is feisty, and that pissed her off, so she decided she's not leaving them the property and house anymore. She has decided to make me executor of the will, with a stipulation that I will sell the property and divide the proceeds among her grandkids and great-grandkids. I will follow her wishes to the letter. She has directed me not to tell any of them what she plans, to let them still think that it is going to a rescue. As for those of you asking about her income, she lives remotely in Alaska. Her closest store is 35 miles away, one way. If she wants a Walmart, she has to drive 70 miles one way. Her electricity alone is $600 to $800 a month, plus groceries are outrageous. She also has a lot of animals. They keep her alive and happy. She gives 10% to her church and another 10% to charities. She has to pay for car payments, auto insurance, house insurance, water bill, and gas for the truck. If there is anything left, she puts it on an account at the vet, so she has a buffer in case one of her animals needs care. You'll never convince them there wasn't a stash of money. If they can't find it while she's living, they'll accuse you of stealing it after she's gone. There is nothing that will tear apart a family faster than money. Mentioning, just because you don't explicitly mention it in your update, as executor, you don't get to decide where the money goes. The will needs to be updated to say that, and how, it is shared among children and grandchildren. Good luck! Thanks, she will stipulate. This brought back memories. After my mom died, my lazy, entitled, greedy, grasping sisters decided our mother had a hidden stash of money. Now I paid her phone bill, her internet bill, her life insurance bill, the tab if we went to a restaurant, and her credit cards. But yeah, okay, there's hidden money. I bought the groceries for Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners for years. She couldn't afford it, and when we floated the idea of all of us pitching in $10 each, my sister said if she had to pay to eat at her mother's house, she wouldn't come. I met with the lawyer and set up her banking, so I knew there was no stash. And yet, they believed their own fantasy so strongly that they took screwdrivers and pliers to tear apart the interior of her car, thinking cash was somehow hidden in the upholstery. They're idiots. Still.
Many gifts for friends and boyfriend, paper and cardboard, no crayons. Oh, and crayons. Ooh, exciting. That's super cool. Wait, I wish I was good at crafting. I'm so bad at crafting. I'm actually so bad at crafting. Every time I make a craft, it looks like shit. Your hair looks fire like an ABG baddie. Thanks, Dash. Oh, the only thing